A 68-year-old Singaporean, Ng Hak Keong, has been fined 4,000 Singapore dollars after pleading guilty to causing grievous hurt through a negligent act at Woodlands checkpoint. The incident occurred on June 7, 2022, when an auxiliary police officer, responsible for conducting routine fuel checks, had his foot run over by Ng's vehicle. The officer's duty was to ensure that all cars leaving Singapore from Malaysia had at least 3/4 of fuel in their gas tanks, a legal requirement under the Customs Act to prevent drivers from exploiting cheaper fuel prices across the border. On that night at around 11 p.m., Ng had stopped for the fuel check as instructed by the officer. However, as the officer approached the vehicle, Ng mistakenly believed he was signaled to move forward. Acting on this misinterpretation, Ng drove ahead, causing the right rear tire of his vehicle to roll over the officer's left foot. The officer, despite experiencing immediate pain, refrained from escalating the situation and instead asked Ng to park his car nearby. He continued with the fuel check and found that Ng's car did not meet the required fuel level. Ng was then taken to the office so that the Immigration and Checkpoints Authority, ICA, officers could manage the situation. Remarkably, the officer chose not to inform Ng about his injury to avoid any confrontation. Instead, he reported the incident to his ICA colleagues. A few hours later, as the pain intensified, the officer sought medical attention. An X-ray revealed a possible separation of a joint, and he was subsequently diagnosed with a ligament injury. The injury required surgery, which was performed on June 10. The officer received a total of 150 days of hospitalization leave to recover from his injury. Ng's actions led to significant consequences for the officer, who incurred medical bills amounting to approximately 23,000 Singapore dollars, though the majority of these expenses were covered by insurance. The prosecutor in the case requested a fine between 4,000 Singapore dollars and 5,000 Singapore dollars for Ng, along with a 6-month driving ban. However, considering Ng's clean driving record, his immediate guilty plea, and the fact that this appeared to be an isolated incident, the court handed down a more lenient sentence. In addition to the fine, Ng was ordered to pay 2,516 Singapore dollars in compensation to the injured officer and received a 2-month driving ban. For causing grievous hurt by a negligent act, Ng could have faced a jail term of up to 2 years or a fine of up to 5,000 Singapore dollars, or both. His clean driving record and cooperation with the authorities likely played a role in the court's decision to impose a lesser penalty. We invite you to share your thoughts on this incident in the comments section below. Do you think the penalty was fair? How do you feel about the measures in place at the Woodlands checkpoint? We would love to hear from you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel, 2230, for more in-depth news coverage. Your support helps us bring you the latest news and stories that matter.